I'm Chris, and my goal here is to help every single one of you thinking of investing some money in a Crowdcube or crowdfunding pitch, not to lose out by missing out on asking the right questions. You see, I'm just some goon, but I've made lots of investments. I want to share some of the things I look at when I think about investing in a crowdfunding opportunity. So many people just lose their money by investing in hype. They look at a video and go, ooh, that's nice, only to realize that the company underneath, after they've made the investment, is a I don't know anything about this startup. I've never seen it before. I've not looked at the stuff before making this video. This is all stream of consciousness. Katrick Technologies Limited. This is brand new on Crowdcube. Got 209 investors already. A £50 million valuation. And they're only giving 1.93% equity. So immediately I'm thinking, unless there is a clear path to something like, I don't know, a $200 to $500 million exit. Like, this needs to be $1 billion company for any one of us investors to get anything meaningful. So I need to be convinced that this could become what's known as a unicorn. $1 billion. So I'm going to be looking out for that. They've raised £661,000 and they're 66% through. So what I'm going to look at is when the last investment was and what's the largest investment so far. And that's at the bottom. Okay, the largest investment was £499,975. And so that means £500,000 of the £661,000. That tells me only really one meaningful investor has participated, because that's nearly all of the investment. Doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence. What I go to now, I go to the team. Now, what I'm specifically looking for is a genuinely diverse set of humans. And that has more than just ethical implications, which are of course super important. It has implications on hiring, has implications on culture and diverse thinking. If a team is not diverse enough, how the hell are they going to attract future talent? It's not a white guy with a beard. Amazing! Okay. Here we are, all male team, bit disappointing. There is some diversity. Patents. I want to see if those patents are worth anything. So essentially, what this sounds like it's doing is there are big wind turbines that capture primarily the air that goes through the blades. However, a lot of turbulence and waste happens underneath the turbine. And what it sounds like they're doing is they're able to capture that wasted air. Very smart. It's in an industry of at least, which could easily create $1 billion companies. So I'm less worried about the valuation now. I am concerned though that they're only raising £1 million on a £50 million pre-money. So I need to see where the monies go and what other money they have, because £1 million isn't going to move the needle. This sounds like marketing to me. That's all I tend to look at on the actual crowdfunding page itself. I never ever watch a video. You should never ever watch a video. The reason being is the video is often designed by outside companies to create fear of missing out. You should never invest based on emotion. You should invest based upon well-answered questions and answers that satisfy to your level of scrutiny that they know what they're doing and that the business could return your money. Because if it can't, then it's charity. There's nothing wrong with charity, even when you're investing. If you just want to see something live and breathe, absolutely fine. However, if you are investing some of your hard-earned money to enable yourself to make more money later, to then go and reinvest, you must do your diligence. All right, now let's look at the pitch deck. 21 slides. I'm not going to read 21 slides, sorry. It's ugly. I'm not reading that. Founded 2016, that's all I'm going to get from that slide. Data centers accounted for between 2 and 4%, and I don't mean 3%, I mean it fluctuated between 2 and 4%. I'm not stupid. Between 2 and 4% of all the world's power consumption at any given point in time. That's just big warehouses with computers in, so you can put your Facebook pictures online, account for 2 to 4% of all the power needs on Earth. And one of the reasons that costs so much money and uses so much power is because they need to keep the equipment cool. So this, if this is what I think it is, being able to create an environment where they can work at normal room temperature and saving 50% on those cooling costs. Let's continue on. I'm not gonna read it, I'm not. Why is a bunch of pictures helpful for me other than understanding the diversity of the team? Which is fine. Innovate and of course you are. That's the whole point of being a startup. That's just a slide with some words on it. It means absolutely nothing. Honestly, this deck is awful. I'm going to be reviewing a dozen, maybe 30 pitch decks every week as a professional investor. I'm not going to want to spend too much time if I'm not attracted to the pitch deck already. If I am already really attracted to the pitch deck, then I might spend more time and actually click here. But right now, my confidence in this deck is incredibly low. The only thing this has going for it right now is that it's in a super sexy industry, and they demonstrated they can save, or at least they claim they can save 50% on data center cooling costs. If that is true, if I can see evidence of that being true, then I want to meet the team before I make an investment. I haven't seen that as true yet. I've only just seen them claim it. Initial studies demonstrate our system saves 50% of cooling power compared to conventional solutions. Now, I want to know what are the unconventional solutions which are coming down the track. So one of my questions to the founders would be, are you better than the other choices? Not are you better than the they put out 10 years ago? Ironically, this is the most interesting slide. Is because obviously this is one of those warehouses with all the Facebook pictures on. And what they do is they take heat through these tubes, maybe through heavy water or, I don't know, oil sometimes, to take all the heat out, and they put it into this thing. I've never seen anything like this before. And don't get me wrong, I'm not an expert, so there's probably a good reason I haven't. That being said, there's something quite Star Warsy about it. This cools by spinning, and as it spins, the water that gets returned is cooler than the water that came in, therefore maintaining an ambient temperature in the room. It's kind of like a reverse radiator. That's very clever. Although I hate the look of this slide, it's interesting. It shows that there is some recognition out there for what they do. Turnover in EBITDA. Here we go. Why is passive... Oh, I've lost trust in this. Because let's go back a slide. Look at this sexiness. Got really excited by it. This is their passive cooling system. Amazing, they put so much emphasis in their pitch deck on the passive cooling system. And I imagine this is where many of their patents will lie. However, their financial model says only 4% of their revenue is coming from the passive cooling side of their business, which means that the remainder comes from just pretty ordinary wind generation. There are millions of people doing that. Other than like getting the sloppy seconds of wind underneath a turbine, there's nothing particularly clever here. And so although like EBITDA, why does EBITDA go down? That doesn't make any sense either. You're telling me you're becoming less efficient over time. And if their turnover is dramatically increasing, which one of these is on the left-hand side of the scale? Which one of these is on the right-hand side of the scale? What a shame. Here's my conclusion. I'm not interested in it, and I'm not interested in asking any questions because they've put so much effort in convincing me they've done something amazing with a new piece of technology. However, only 4% of their business is built on that amazing thing. And that tells me, as a potential investor, they're throwing out something really sexy to get your attention and to win your enthusiasm. But the business isn't the thing that you're excited about. I have seen founders do that. It's not cool. They'll show you something really, really, really sexy as like some kind of interesting idea, and then go and build a business on nothing really related to that. It just happens to be in the business. Like, I'm interested in investing in the thing you're going to do in the future, not all the clever ideas you have right now. I'm not interested in this. I'm not going to ask them any questions. But if you are going to ask them any questions, I really would suggest you hammer really hard into explaining why that super amazing cooling thing is only 4% of their business.